consultation appointment that I have with a bride-to-be. So it's currently a little before 3 o'clock, and I'm meeting her at the venue at 4 o'clock. So I'm heading out so that I can get there. It's almost an hour away from where I live. So I want to make sure that I get there and that I arrive on time. We've already talked on the phone a few times and everything, and so we have a pretty good connection, because I think that whenever you work with somebody, you can get a feel for like a vibe for them on the telephone and everything. So talking on the phone has been really good vibe. And so now we're about to meet in person for the first time at the venue where she's gonna get married. And so from the venue, I always do site visits. When I first started, I used to do pictures and videos and stuff, but what I've learned is that the picture and the video is never going to give you an accurate, real feel of the space. And sometimes a space looks smaller in a picture than it really is, and then you go and you're like, oh. And then sometimes it looks bigger, and then when you go visiting, it's like, oh, this is small. So I thought we could do this based on the picture, but then when I'm here in person, I'm realizing that, oh, we can't do that. Or you have you want to do a lot more in the space, and then when you get there you realize, ooh. So I make sure, whether it's like I'm doing like an event designing or interior decorating, that I always make a site visit to look at the place. And I don't typically need measurements when it's time to do events. Like interior decorating, you definitely need measurements and stuff, but with the events I don't really have to do measurements, because it's more so about spacing, table layout, and stuff like that. That's kind of what you're getting a feel for. Placement of where you're going to put the cake table or gift table, how many tables can actually fit comfortably, that type of thing. So that's what we're going to do today. I've never been up this far. This is further up north from where I live. I never really come further up north, so that's going to be different. And everything, but I'm excited. I love doing events, y'all. Events is like, that's actually what I started out doing, was event decorating and everything. And interior decorating kind of stems from what I was doing in my house, but from YouTube. But when I started my business back in like 2015, it was primarily to do event decorating, event design, or whatever. So that's like my biggest passion. I love it. It allows you to be, I feel like, so much more creative with themes, THEMES, and stuff. And I love how you can just play with different colors, switch up colors. It just, yeah. And it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. But that adrenaline rush and that satisfaction that you get at the end of the event is what, to me, makes it all worth it and everything. So I am looking forward to this wedding. Her colors are blush and navy blue. That's what she wants to go with, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love blush. Y'all know I love me some blush pink. And navy blue is one of the most popping colors right now. So, and I like navy blue too. So it's gonna be gorgeous, gorgeous. So I'm gonna come up with some design concepts and stuff after we check out the venue. And yeah, I got my blazer on, trying to look all professional, you know what I mean? But on the real tip, like, if you're doing a consultation, you want to be presentable. Like, you want to come forward with how do I put this? You want to look presentable, because you don't want the person that you're designing for has seen your work before, so they know what you can do. But at the same time, when you meet in person, they still want to get a feel for you as a person, aside from just your work. And I think that it's important to be presentable, because if I come to you and say, I'm going to decorate this for you and I'm going to design this for you, and I'm looking like Who Shot John, then you might get a feel that your event or your house or whatever is going to look like Who Shot John, and that's not cool. So I at least try to decify myself up a little bit, put on a little bit of something, a little blazer. This is like a arm cut blazer. I think I got this thing from H&M. like 2 years ago, but I want to get some more of these in different colors. I'm probably gonna order it online because they're really cool. Because I just have on a tank top and some blue jeans actually, so it's like business casual, not like overdressed like I would be if I was actually going to a business event. But at least, you know, I'm trying to put my best self forward at the consultation, so that you know, oh, okay, she really does care about how things look, you know what I mean? So that's like super important to me. This is pretty much gonna be a car chronicle, I think, because after I get done with this, I am gonna go back home and I have to cook dinner for Jalen. Jalen just made it home from school, so we were crossing each other walking out the door. And then I'm gonna work on the design concept and stuff for this so that I can get back with her in a decent time. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, this is a car chronicle situation. Unless I attach this to another video or continue this video tomorrow. I could continue it tomorrow, guys, because honestly, I have 2 events this weekend. I have an event tomorrow that I'm doing, which is another balloon decorating event. People, I don't know why they throw on brakes like that. That's so annoying to me. And then I also have one on Saturday, which is also a balloon decorating event for a baby shower. So I'll continue this video throughout the weekend. I love what I do. Like, I love it, love it, love it. I love the creative aspect of everything. I love decorating. I love designing. It's just like, it's so fun to me. It's like you either enjoy it or you don't. I actually am about to bring on like an assistant, a day of assistant, just to help me set up events and stuff, because usually, you know, Jalen is my apprentice, so she will always be an extra hand. But I usually have to get somebody, like a friend or somebody in my family, to like really help me set up, or my mom or something like that when she's here. But she's not here all year round, you know. So her and Jalen make 3 people. Okay, wait. Her, me, and Jalen, when we go decorate for an event, makes 3 people. And usually 3 people is fine, but depending on how big this wedding it is, like this wedding right here, she's expecting about 150 people. So for that size wedding, we're looking at, I need at least 4 people on deck. So I'm really looking into bringing in just like a day of assistant to help me decorate for the events. I don't need like a personal assistant throughout the year or anything, at least not at this rate, but I definitely do need extra hands for decoration days. But one thing about the balloon garlands is that I can do that by myself. So I do like that. I don't need any assistance on that. But when it comes to full events, I always have to have extra hands. And I need someone that's basically does it, kind of has a good stamp on time, can kind of move without me directing everything, because, you know, with Jalen and my mom, she don't be moving that fast, y'all. She does not, but she's a great assistant. She's still an extra hand, but she does not be moving fast at all. I be telling her, I be like, thank you, mom, but you fired, like, you so fired. But and Jalen, I do have to, she can move, but I have to tell her, hey, do this. Sometimes she be acting like a snail, and I be like, girl, we on a time crunch, because events are on a time crunch. Like, that stuff is, that's why most of the time I barely get the opportunity to pull out the camera unless they have the venue for an extended amount of time. And so I make sure I get there like super early, way before the event starts, then I can film it. But for the most part, that stuff is like this, like, you don't have time to film or anything. So that's where Jalen comes in hand too, because sometimes she can actually take pictures and video for me, because if she wasn't there taking pictures or video or whatever, I wouldn't have no footage. So yeah, I am definitely gonna have to do that, because I have another wedding coming up too. It's 2020, so I'm getting contacted for a lot of 2020 events, which is cool. So people like to start planning their wedding in advance, which you should, at least a year in advance. So, and another thing, consultations are also important, because when you do get that first one-on-one visit together, aside from that person getting a feel for you, you're also getting a feel for them. And sometimes you can just sense bad auras or bad vibes, or that, okay, this is not gonna go good or whatever. And so sometimes it's okay for you to feel like, okay, I don't think this is a project that I want to work on. A lot of times it takes time to get to that point to where you say no to clients, but after you start experiencing and working with different people, you start realizing, okay, nope, this one is not good for me. This one ain't gonna work, and stuff like that. It could be a number of factors. It could be because of the aura or the personality. It could be because of budget, because there are times you get clients that have this big old, they want this, that, and the third, and they don't want to pay for it. And so sometimes that don't work. Now, a lot of things you can DIY. There are a lot of things that you can actually get for weddings for cheap. It depends on if your event designer is a DIY person. Like, I'm a DIY person, so I know how to make things, take things that don't cost a whole lot and make centerpieces and stuff out of them. That's like probably my most fun part of doing events, is being creative with centerpieces and all that type of stuff. So, but not everybody has that DIY mentality. Some people outsource. And so if some people outsource and you have this budget that they can't work with, then it's a no-go. So, yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of, on both directions. There's a lot that goes into it as far as your client evaluating you and what you do, and you evaluating your client and how it would be working with them. So, yeah. One thing I've learned in doing this, because I got burned so many times, is to make sure that I charge for consultations. When I first started, I was doing consultations for free. And then you spend all this time, you go to the consultation, you have travel time, you're meeting the person at whether it's the event venue or whether you're doing it till you're decorating at their house, right? So that's time already spent right there. So then afterwards, usually you have to create a presentation to land the gig, which means you have to create some type of design concept, whether it be a mood board or anything, whatever, however you choose to do your presentation. Different people do them different ways, and everything. So that's time. You can spend hours doing research, putting stuff together to create this presentation. You go to the client, it's dope. And then you start talking about how much it's gonna cost and this, that, and the third, and then they're like, because they thought you was gonna do it for $5, and that's not how it works. So, and then they don't go through the project, and bam, where are you? You just spent all this time, work, and gas when you could have been putting that towards something else, and you didn't even get paid for it. So, after being burned like that, I learned to book. When I book consultations, you have to pay for it up front. Like, you just have to pay for the consultation up front. And depending on what type of consultation it is, you might pay for half of it up front and the other half upon arrival to the consultation. But before you get any type of design concepts or mood boards, that consultation has to be paid in full. Therefore, if you decide you don't want to go through with it or whatever, I didn't just do work for free. And so you have to make sure you're charging decent. Consultations don't typically need to cost a whole lot, but they need to cost enough to where you feel like even if you don't land the client or book the client, you still did get paid for doing some of the work. Because I still don't feel like with the consultation, with the time and stuff that you put into creating the design concept and the mood board or whatever, I still don't feel like you really get totally compensated for that outside the consultation fee. Honestly, that consultation fee really doesn't cover all the time that goes into that part either. But you're putting all that time in there because you want it to look great and you want to land it. But at the same time, that's why I say it's up to you. Like, between you and whoever you're meeting, your client, you're also evaluating them while they're evaluating you. Because if you present this to them and they don't have the funds to pay for it, or they want this but they don't understand, hey, it doesn't look like it's maybe a lot, but it adds up. Everything adds up. And that's whether it's an event or interior decorating, y'all, it all adds up. And so you gotta understand that, like, when I talk to people, for whatever reason, they have like this magic number. It's like, what's your budget? And they throw out this magic number, and I'd be like, no, like, that's not gonna work. Like, and what happens is, you as the event designer or interior decorator, you can stress yourself out trying to work within their budget. Whereas, had you just stood for your ground from the beginning and said, hey, that's not gonna work. Unfortunately, you know, if we could increase the budget by this amount of dollars, then I can do this for you. It's gonna, if you want this look, this is how much it's gonna cost. You know what I mean? But it's not fair to me, or if you do events or interior decorating out there, whatever, it's not fair for you to stress yourself out trying to squeeze something within somebody's beer budget. You know what I mean? Now there's, like I said, sometimes you can do DIY things. You can DIY some stuff and make some stuff work, but still, if you're DIYing it yourself and the bride is not DIYing it, or your client is not DIYing it, then guess what? You still have to charge, because you need to be compensated for your time of making the DIY, because the DIY is not going to make itself. So pricing, all that, like, y'all, all this stuff is like a whole separate video. I could really do a whole separate video just on each piece of this thing, but mainly today, since I was headed to consultation, I wanted to talk to you guys about consultations, how they work. If you were looking for an event decorator designer, or if you're looking for an interior decorator designer, or if you are one yourself, kind of, you know, a lot that goes into it that people don't necessarily know or think about. So anyway, I will holler at you guys later. If I don't hop back on and let you know how the consultation went, I will see you all in my next video. But this was just a car chronicle for you guys, because I don't think I've done a car chronicle in a minute. I might do some more insight videos for anybody that wants to know, just from my experience, things that I have learned along the way and all that good stuff, in a separate, like, actual sit down video where I'm not, you know, moving in the car. But yeah, I will holler at you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. I just left the consultation. It went really good, so I'm super excited. I've got it. This is good. This is gonna be really good, really pretty. So I've got homework to do tonight and tomorrow and stuff, basically on getting quotes and stuff together for everything that we talked about at the venue. But yeah, it went really great, y'all. So I'm super excited. I love weddings. Weddings are like, oh, I haven't had my wedding yet. You know, hopefully one day I get to design my own, because, you know, I'm always decorating weddings and stuff for other people, but I just haven't had the opportunity to do my own yet. But, you know, I get to live vicariously through other people's weddings, so wedding events. But yeah, I'm about to head home, get to Jalen. I had started cooking dinner before I left. She had something to eat when she came home from school, but of course that was at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we're gonna eat again around, it's like 6 o'clock now, so we're gonna eat around 7. I'll be done cooking dinner by then, and yeah, that's what I have going on for the rest of the day. But I will check back with you guys in my next video, and yeah, love y'all.